Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw Countout, the only pro wrestling countout show that exists right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. We're also available wherever fine podcasts can be found. Be sure to leave us a rating, review, or a comment to make sure you're helping Going In Raw boost our exposure.
Yes, please.
Boost its exposure. We're also available, of course, right here at YouTube. Be sure to hit subscribe. Smash that notify bell. Make sure you're always getting notified. We're always going to be bugging you whenever we're going live if you hit that notify bell.
No, if you smash it.
Smash it. Hey, we're going live. Hey, wake up. We're going live with the show. Wake up. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
This is, of course, Count Out. We're taking a look this week at some of the best, worst wrestlers.
Yeah, these are wrestlers that, despite some not very noted in-ring abilities, managed to have decent careers for themselves.
Yeah, so part of the Going In Raw, the definitive, the revolutionary, the algorithm, Going In Raw math, right? The how we rank wrestlers with this foolproof, definitive math, which we're going to utilize heavily during this particular episode of Countout.
See, the genius of this math is that it incorporates and encapsulates every aspect of any wrestler's entire career.
Exactly. And so this list that we've put together of the best, worst work. Here's the thing. In-ring work is only one aspect
Definitely.
of the quality of a pro wrestler.
Basically, everyone on this list had a successful, in some cases, wildly successful careers, despite the fact they really couldn't wrestle very well.
We love a lot of the names on this list.
Absolutely. This is by no means a slight to any of the names on this list.
No. In fact, number one is one of our favorite personalities in the history of pro wrestling.
There's several bona fide legends on this list, too.
Absolutely. Hall of Famers.
Oh, yes.
A ton of Hall of Famers on this list.
Yes.
But let's face it, in-ring work,
not the best.
Not really tops any of these wrestlers. So these are the top 10 best worst wrestlers.
Yes.
Number 10.
10.
Hulk Hogan. Now, Hogan's actually had some, a little bit, yeah, hold on. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Hulk Hogan's actually had some decent matches in his career, Larson.
However, of all the skills that he possessed throughout his career, like tops amongst them is probably politicking.
Yeah. Which is not a category, by the way.
No, on earth thing.
Although kayfabe
legacy.
kind of.
Legacy too.
Yeah.
And then promo skills. And then further down that list is in-ring ability.
One thing we do with this list also is take a look at the wrestlers at their peak.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan at his peak, let's face it, really was not an in-ring technician.
No.
Not an in-ring space. He relied on a few moves.
Largely punches.
Punches.
And then a body slam, a boot, and a leg drop. That was the extent of his arsenal during his heyday.
Yeah. But pointing his finger at somebody.
Yeah. Cupping his ear to hear the audience.
Flexing.
A lot.
Yeah, he did that. But he wasn't in the ring, say, a Bret Hart level.
No. Or some of his contemporaries, he was far from a Randy Savage.
Oh.
A Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
You know, some of the wrestlers in the mid-'80s who were fine in-ring talents.
Now, from what I understand, he had some decent matches during his time in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had some good matches back in the AWA. I wouldn't know. I haven't gone back and looked at any of those.
No.
I just know when you look at the iconic Hulk Hogan matches out there,
they're not like even 2-star matches. The most iconic match, arguably in his entire career, against Andre the Giant, I think got minus something stars from Dave Meltzer.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're just sort of lumbering about the ring, and I know, granted, his opponent was one of the ultimate lumberers at his peak. But yeah, there's a lot of lumbering. I mean, you can take a look at one of his best matches during his run of popularity was against the Ultimate Warrior at Mania 6. And it's not that great of a match. It's just you say it's good for them because
it's good for them, but then the crowd's really into it.
The crowd is super into it.
Which
exactly.
Kicks it up a notch. And his match against Savage at WrestleMania 5 isn't terrible until it becomes a Hulk Hogan match.
Yeah.
When it's a Randy Savage match, it's perfectly entertaining. And then when Hulk Hogan gets the upper hand, it becomes any other Hulk Hogan match, and it's pretty boring from there. You know what? I was a child of the 80s, and so I was well aware of what Hogan was doing in WWF. In fact, as far as I was concerned, WWF was the only wrestling that existed because it's the only wrestling I knew of.
Yeah, right.
But in hindsight, don't really get it.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't get Hulkamania. Don't get it.
I think I kind of get it. I could see why people were so into him. I mean, his face was very intense. He looked like sort of he didn't really look human.
That's true.
He didn't really look human. He was very intense.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the 80s. The 80s were a weird time.
You got that right.
People were into weird things.
You got that right.
And I think he was just the perfect 80s personality.
He managed to capture the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
As weird as what the 80s were. At least he did for a little bit until he didn't.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some math on one Hulk Hogan.
All right, we're going to do our wrestling math. So for those of you who might not tune into the regular show, the weekly show, the daily show that we do Monday through Friday, as of late, we have been going hard on Going In Raw math. A lot of our friendos been asking us to do math on this person, that person, the other one.
Yeah.
We've done Hogan math, and we're going to do it fresh here for the show.
Yeah.
So Going In Raw, according to Going In Raw, wrestlers fall into you have to take a look at three categories, one of which is divided into three subcategories.
Correct.
So you have being good.
Yes.
And then legacy.
Yes.
And then kayfabe, which
in that order, the order of importance. Yes.
Kayfabe is how strong you've been booked. Creatively, how strong is your creative? Being good is broken down into three categories.
Thanks to Bret Hart.
Yeah, exactly.
In-ring, promo, and look.
Yeah.
And then legacy is legacy. How are you remembered? How are you viewed by the wrestling universe?
Right. Exactly. So
favorably, unfavorably, mixed bag. All right.
Let's do this math on Hulk Hogan.
In-ring, 1.
Yeah, 1. Not good at all.
Promos.
Which is why he's on this list.
Promos,
9. Killer promos. Come on, man.
Could be.
He whipped people into a frenzy during his promos. Look, again, 8 probably.
7.
Dude, nobody looked like him. Oh, you got to give him it because I was going to do 9. And so I can come down to 8 if you want to go from 7 up to 8.
No, 7's right.
It's 8. Come on, his look was like nobody else.
Legacy.
Oh, well, if you take it, you got to take away a little bit for legacy because of the fact that he sullied it over the past couple of years.
Well, then the since his heyday, we found out more and more about his politicking, about torpedoing other wrestlers' pushes and maybe in some cases careers to advance his own.
6.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
But at the same time, racism and politicking, that'll do it for you. That'll knock 4 points off.
Yeah.
Kayfabe, 10. I mean, due to his politicking, it might have tarnished his legacy, but then that was supplemented in kayfabe.
So 22 divided by 3 equals slightly over 7.
Okay.
7. Hulk Hogan is 7.
All right. Well,
So far, the highest anybody's ever gotten is John Cena at 9.
9+. Yeah. With Hogan, I feel like obviously his ring work would have helped, but you can't do anything about that. Had he not, if he had not sullied his own legacy with the racism stuff, maybe that would have gone up to an 8. Then you're looking at maybe approaching an 8 wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, a solid 7+ wrestler.
Oh, you're definitely looking at an 8 wrestler.
Yeah.
He really did tarnish his own legacy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the dude's influence and the reactions that he got from the people. He's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Can't be denied.
The money he made for Vince, the WWF, and himself.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I was a big Hogan fan at one point. These days I can't help but look at him and think of the sulliness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much Sully.
Way too much.
Way too much Sully.
Way too much. Well, it kind of overrides everything else.
It kind of does, man. I look at him. I mean, my first wrestling shirt I bought was an NWO Hogan shirt.
I remember that.
Good looking shirt too.
It was a good looking shirt.
Sully.
Yeah.
Number 9.
9.
Vince McMahon.
Say you will about Vince as far as being a promoter, a businessman, a character.
Yeah.
A wrestler, he was not.
No.
He might.
Really bad.
Yeah, he was not good at all.
Have you ever seen him sell a stunner?
It's like watching a hard loaf of bread make contact with the human body and fall without actually ever doing anything. That makes sense.
It does. It absolutely
Because it doesn't
does.
seem flexible. He's jacked. He probably still is jacked. But there's
jacked.
zero flexibility. It's probably why he's tore his quads multiple times.
Right.
Zero flexibility. So when he eats a stunner, he just falls over.
Yeah. I think the thing about Vince is that he seems to feel that when he did wrestle.
Yeah.
He felt that he could adopt, like, instead of selling, he just had everything he did was swagger. You know how he does the Vince McMahon swag?
Yeah, the walk.
And so, like, when he punches, it was like just a weird swag punch.
He had terrible punches.
His punches were terrible. When his son Shane inherited those punches because they're terrible too.
Yeah, they're not good either.
But he's actually that dude. He can take a bump.
He's athletic.
He's athletic. Shane can actually do some cool stuff.
Whereas Vince really couldn't do anything except bleed. He just bleed a lot.
He would bleed a
You take
ton.
bumps. He would take a share of bumps. He had no qualms about taking bumps.
Yeah.
Serious bumps. And he'd bleed, but you're not going to he's not a best bout machine by any stretch of the imagination.
Did he have any what was his finisher? Do you have a finisher? Usually it was just like having other people do stuff for him.
That's largely what it was.
I mean,
I think he tried to do a stunner once.
Oh, it was probably ugly.
Ugly.
It was probably so bad. It was like a weird wet sack of potatoes that you're trying to throw into the garbage, but instead it just sort of slumps over the dumpster and then slowly falls off and then lands in a weird way.
Well, not before the potatoes start to fall out.
Right, exactly. That was Vince selling a stunner.
Yeah.
Which was weird because he did it a lot. Like
yeah,
he
never got better at it. Never got better.
He never did improve on that.
No, never did.
All right, man. Well, as a wrestler, though, we need to figure out
as
where
a wrestler,
Vince McMahon
All
lies
right.
in our going in
ring.
match.
Obviously, won.
Is everybody on this list? They're already got.
Well, I'll give Vince a 0 because he was really bad.
They've got a 0 or 1.
No, I think a couple people might be higher than 0.
Okay, all right.
But Vince 0 for in-ring promo. He's a great promo.
Oh, 9. 9 promo. I don't even know what could he be. Well, you know why it's a 9 and not a 10? Because of his lately.
Oh,
it's a 1.
Yeah, he's on cruise control totally. Look. 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He was jacked. That was pretty impressive for a guy his age being that jacked.
Yeah.
Legacy. See, again, as a wrestler. You know what? I'll give him a 5 legacy.
He was top heel of the 90s.
Yeah, and he was tough. He would take bumps.
Yeah.
Kayfabe. I don't know if he ever won anything, so 2.
Well, he won the ECW championship. He won the WWE championship.
He won the WWE championship, too. But I mean, like, that was always with help, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Otherwise, he lost.
Okay, fair enough.
So, he's about a 3.
Wow. He might be lowest on this list.
As a wrestler.
Holy moly. As a promoter, 10.
Oh, yeah.
As a promoter, like 11, you can even go higher than 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder what the criteria for a promoter would be.
Money.
That's one criteria. How much money have you made?
I mean, if you're a businessman.
Yeah. 10. He's made the most money.
Yeah, of anybody who ever done wrestling. Most.
Moving on. Number 8.
8.
This is more fun than I thought it was.
Oh, you thought this would be boring?
I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. Number 8.
8.
Lana. So this is a recent addition, obviously. A lot of these are legacy names, but we had to pick somebody who is wildly over with fans.
Yeah, she's great.
She brings a lot to the table. It's just her wrestling is so suck-ass.
Remember that one match she was having, I think, against Charlotte, where Charlotte was telling her what to do?
Yeah, I do. Okay, run at me.
Yeah.
Okay, now do that.
And Charlotte on the ground was like, hey, come pin me. The thing is, though, is that Lana's got a ton of charisma.
Oh, she's great.
She's entertaining.
Oh, love
she's
her.
a great promo.
Oh, man.
Like, she's got everything else.
Yeah.
It's just
It's weird. You can even get past the fact that her accent changes on a second-to-second basis.
Yeah.
You can even get past that.
But the thing is, it didn't used to.
Yeah.
Like when her and Rusev first came up.
Oh, because back then she had a clear idea of what she was doing.
Yeah.
These days, it's like right at gorilla position. They're like, today you're going to be American. except if you use the words Rusev, wrestle,
or
crush, Machka, or cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, what? And then they throw her out there, and then she's like, okay, guys, hey, how's it going? My name is Lana. You know.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. They don't know
They don't
what
know.
she's supposed
They
to
don't know.
be. But she's still, the crowd loves her, man. The crowd wants her to have all the opportunities in the world.
The dynamic her and Rusev had when, again, they first came up to Maine was great.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was so good.
It was great. And then I've seen like little bits and pieces of her on the Total Divas or whatever it is. And I think she's great. She's so much charisma. Rusev is great. They have amazing chemistry. As a wrestler, though, wow. Terrible.
Remember when she first started wrestling and then they said, all right, let's wait on this a little bit. And then she came back and she was a little bit better.
She had made improvements.
The thing is with her is like when she's delivering her offense, it can be somewhat convincing.
Yeah.
It's the selling.
Yeah.
It's the storytelling part. But that's, especially the storytelling part, I feel like that's something that you learn through years and years of experience. And she's relatively new to this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a lot of wrestling is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling is not
easy.
easy.
It's really hard.
You know, I am not a coordinated person. I would never think that I could wrestle. I would be a 1 easily. A 0.
All right.
I'd be nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd be so bad. It's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
You know, this list is not meant to like run people down.
No. As you said earlier, we enjoy the work of a great many people on this list.
Including Lana.
Yes.
However, the math doesn't lie, Larson.
Yeah.
Let's do Lana math.
All right, in ring. Well, Vince is a 0. What is she?
I mean, she's a 1. You said that her offense could be okay.
Yeah, she had that one move that was really good. It was like a powerbomb type deal. Promo. She's a good promo. 7.
Yeah, she's a 7 promo.
Look.
Oh, 10.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like $1 million. Are you kidding me?
See, Legacy is a little too soon to tell.
Difficult.
We'll say 3 for now.
Okay.
It could go up, obviously. Kayfabe. I mean, as a wrestler, she wasn't booked
Kayfabe
well at all.
1.
She lost everything except for that one mixed match challenge, man.
Kayfabe was like 1.
Yeah.
She won a match. I feel like this is not going to go well.
About a 3. 3+.
Okay.
On par with Vince.
On par. All right. Well, I mean,
Wrestler Vince.
You're doing something right if you're on par with Vince in any capacity, really. I mean, he's wrestled. He's been a WWE champion and an ECW champion. So you're doing something.
Yeah.
You're not a 2, so that's good.
True.
Yeah.
True.
3+ wrestler, Lana.
True.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's see who's next.
Number
7.
7.
Lex Luger. Wow.
He's achieved a great level of success in the wrestling industry without being a terribly great wrestler.
WCW champion. WCW.
He was U.S. champion for a long time. His first run in WCW.
World champion.
I'm sure he's a tag team champion.
Probably a tag team champion.
A very
Maybe
accomplished
a TV
wrestler.
champion.
Yeah.
Unless he was always above that.
Very accomplished, highly decorated wrestler.
He's smart. He graduated with a 3.4 in
something economics or something like that. That's what they said on that one.
It was economics.
And they said in that
it's
one
like marketing or something.
Oh, maybe that one WCW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
All that being said, not the best wrestler.
No.
Wasn't really a great promo guy either.
No. He was somehow over, though, at various points of his life.
He was jacked, man. And he had just enough charisma. Just enough. And people kind of liked him. What?
Is that what it was?
Why do we have a picture of Lex Luger in our set?
I find Lex Luger to be one of the more fascinating cases in professional wrestling. A guy who was pushed for reasons unknown. I mean, is it just his look? I've seen a ton of guys that look like that and they didn't get pushed. Was it his face? Something about his face? I mean, I've seen promos of his when he screams into the mic in like 1989 WCW.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
And I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, but then when he stopped screaming, not
he
so
was.
good.
I think this is one thing we've said about him. He occupies a space in a very short window of time in the late 80s where we could understand why women would want to be with him and men would want to be him, because ultimately that's what you want in life. I think with Lex Luger, he occupied that space. He's the most 1986 to 1989 wrestler there is. Like, he just looks like that era.
Yeah.
Like that 3 years of time.
Yeah.
And I get that Vince put the American thing on him, the Lex Express American guy thing on him, because Hogan was on his way out and he wanted a replacement. But I never heard anything that Lex said that, like, man, wow, I'm on board with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that time he showed up on that ship and he body slammed Yokozuna.
Yeah.
People sort of like that.
Well, it was an impressive feat of strength.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I don't. Yeah, but he was not a good wrestler.
No.
Like he had the bionic elbow.
Torture rack. And of course, his promo abilities, made most famous perhaps in his odd promo about saying that Conan, right, was not...
It was Ray.
Ray, that's right. Was not Wolfpack NWO.
Yeah.
Which, of course, he wasn't. He was never a member of the faction. Conan comes out just as confused as anybody else watching the show.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, there's a lot weird with him. I mean, the weirdest thing is, honestly, they never put I wonder what the thought process was. Vince McMahon heading into SummerSlam 1994, three. Yokozuna versus Lex Luger
for the title.
Seemed obvious as day that title should have gone on Lex Luger.
And yet everybody celebrated as if he did win the title.
Because when he doesn't win the title, he's just dead.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you just celebrated as if you won the title, but you don't have it.
Yeah.
All you got was a count out.
Yeah.
Really not that.
And it wasn't
impressive.
like he was the first person to beat Yokozuna, because Hogan had done it at the previous WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it didn't make any sense. But people, for whatever reason at the time, loved him. They were popping big at SummerSlam. They all thought he was, man, wow, what a great victory.
Yeah.
Did he win the title? No, we don't care. We're cheering anyways. We're happy to be here.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it didn't make any. He's a very perplexing. Lex is perplexing. Perplex Luger. Perplexed Luger. Yeah.
All right.
Very strange. Let's do some Lex Luger math.
In ring. I'm going to go as high as a 2 for in ring, because at least he had a couple moves.
He had the torture rack.
Yeah, man.
It was booked really strong.
Bionic elbow, too.
Yeah.
2.
He flexed a lot, too.
He did. Promo. 4.
Was it really a 4?
3.
At his best, he was like a 4. At his worst, he was like a 1.
So we'll do 3.
3's good.
Look. He was jacked.
So if we were doing math for bodybuilder, he'd be like a 9.
Yeah. What's funny is that he was brought to WWF not to be a wrestler, but to be in the bodybuilding thing. That
he was gonna help mainstream bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. Look, we'll say 5.
Okay, fine.
Legacy.
Dude, is it even like a 3?
I'm gonna say a 4.
Really? Why?
Yeah, he's won some titles. 4. Kayfabe.
He beat Hogan fair and square.
It's true.
That alone gets him a 5.
Yeah, I'll do 5.
All right, let's see how he shakes
4.
out as wrestler.
About 4.
What?
About a 4.
Wow.
He's a better wrestler than Vince McMahon.
Well, yeah. That makes sense.
Math always works.
Yeah.
Math always works.
The math really does work. It's
works
a
every
solid
time.
system.
It really is a solid system. I'm excited to try some of the other names we haven't done before.
Absolutely. Well, let's move on here.
Yes.
Number 6.
6.
The Ultimate Warrior.
He was bad.
He was like a 0 wrestler.
Yeah, he was abysmal.
His wrestling skills were just god awful.
Yeah, he was really bad.
But that look.
Yeah, people really got in the Ultimate Warrior. I never really did.
I'm kind of scared to even dive into what the math on his promo ability is.
It could be 1. It could be like 8 or 9.
How do you not give him like a 9?
I mean, if intensity was a metric, then absolutely.
So, what's Warrior's best match? Like when he was popular?
Probably the Hogan one.
I never saw his because he fought some good wrestlers.
Yeah, he had a match, a retirement match against Savage, which he won at WrestleMania 7.
That had to have been a better match than his WrestleMania 6 match because it was with Savage instead of Hogan.
He had a match against Rick Rude for the Intercontinental title before WrestleMania 6. So those two probably could have been pretty good.
Yeah, probably.
That being said, he was not a good wrestler.
No, he wasn't. He moved funny. Like he ran. Number one, he gassed by the time he was in the ring.
Yeah, he was stiff.
His clothesline, everything just came. He just looked like he was.
Oh, I mean stiff, not as in he worked stiff. Like his body was stiff.
He looked, rigid. Thank you. I was gonna say brittle, but no, rigid.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't move normal.
There's no fluidity to his movements.
Yeah.
Yes.
He literally he looked like an action figure and he moved like you would think an action figure would.
Yeah.
If an action figure had some sort of mechanism where it could move.
Yeah.
I don't know, like some sort of spring-loaded thing. That's how he and people should move that way.
No.
But he did.
No, he had like 3 moves. And that was it.
I mean, his finisher was a splash. He comes off the ropes and he splashes you. I mean, I guess the feat of strength of like lifting him up, pressing them.
Yeah, the military press slam. Yeah,
that's kind of impressive.
And that was usually the precursor to the Warrior Splash. Nonetheless, not a great in-ring talent.
No,
not a great in-ring competitor.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, not good at all.
Trash.
Yeah.
On top of that, he was kind of a trash human. Like some of the things that came out of his mouth were just awful things. And I think hasn't his wife said that he found peace or something after
something like that, but that was never made known publicly.
It was still weird that like they named that award after him.
Yeah,
so oddball. This is a weird guy. Anyways, let's do some
math on him. In ring, 0 or 1.
I mean, I guess a 1.
Promo,
because like he could wrestle, he knew how to.
Promo
8 or 9.
Do 8.
I mean, it'd be a 10 if he didn't make up half his words.
Exactly, and that's why he goes down to an 8.
Although, doesn't that say something about creativity? Because his words, I mean, he made them up.
Yeah. Well, you could look at it one of two ways. Either he made them up because he was being super clever, or he made them up because he thought they were real words.
Yeah, it's probably the latter.
Look.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, his
10. Are you kidding?
Packaging was pretty
Holy
good.
Crap, he looked amazing.
Legacy. 5?
So WWE wants it to be like a 7, but it's like a 4.
Yeah, 4.
I mean, 4. By any normal metric, come on, man. Look, if you're complaining about this in the comments right now, go look up some stuff that he said. Go Google
it's
Ultimate
bad.
Warrior homophobic.
Real bad.
And then you'll see what we're talking about.
And then kayfabe. He was booked strong while he was there until he left for trying to get more money.
He was a really bad politicker.
Yeah, he was.
He was like horrible at politicking.
Yeah, he was.
Kayfabe, I mean, probably 6.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Like, I mean, I know they tried to pass the torch over to him from Hogan, but that didn't really last.
All right, barometric Warrior is a 5.
A 5 wrestler for Warrior?
5+.
His look was everything.
Yeah, his look and then his promos. That's all of it. Otherwise,
yeah, looking strong promo. That'll do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he's a 5 wrestler. I could see that. What's Hogan? 7?
7+.
Hogan's 2 over him. I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, next. Number 5.
5.
The Sandman, ECW.
Remember we found out that he used to wrestle not in the hardcore style when he was a surfer?
Yeah, that was
weird.
And
that blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because Sandman, great personality, wildly entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
Would seemingly do anything in the ring to get the win.
People loved him.
Yeah, but he was not a good wrestler.
No, he really wasn't.
In a technical, fundamental sense.
Yeah. I mean, that was sort of... ECW had plenty of just amazing technical wrestlers. But in order to succeed in ECW, you didn't have to be one.
No.
You didn't have to be one.
Not at all.
And Sandman is probably the best example of that. A guy who gets over on sheer personality.
And his willingness to do basically anything.
Yeah. The idea that he gave off this vibe that he was, what's the term? Drunk? When he was out there from like the moment you heard
Enter Sandman,
Enter Sandman. Oh, that dude is lit right now.
But he was also pretty responsible about it because at the one ECW pay-per-view watch, he's about to pour some beer in somebody's mouth and he asked him, "How old are you?" He wanted to make sure that he wasn't giving some beer to someone who was not of legal drinking age.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. All sorts of liability issues there.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, no, he was not good in the ring, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Like people loved him because it was like, why would a guy who's like super drunk right now, who looks like who bodily, he looks like he's consumed at least 24 Budweisers throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? There's no need to think that he would be a good wrestler.
Yeah.
It'd be odd if he was.
Yeah, it would be weird if he came out there looking like he'd had 2 12-packs and then was Dean Malenko out there, you know?
Exactly. It'd be
kind of weird. It'd be kind of weird. He was a brawler.
Yeah.
He went out there, he threw punches, he jumped off ladders, jumped onto ladders, did all sorts of crazy stuff.
It's okay that he wasn't Dean Malenko.
Totally.
He was a dude who wrestled, and he had like the name Sandman, which I know is holdover from when he was surf guy, because generally to get to the surf, you have to go through sand.
He was Sandman.
It was a Sandman.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a Sandman.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, a great wrestler, no, man.
But a great entertainer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And it was the power of Paul Heyman. He could, like, he could craft these great stories in ECW around wrestlers who, were not that great.
Mm-hmm.
And people ate it up big time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, let's do some Sandman math.
Sure, in ring. I mean, he tried a career as a regular wrestler, so I'll say 2.
Oh, wow, okay.
Promo.
I don't remember him talking. I wouldn't know his voice if I heard it. I don't know.
I heard him talking like a backstage thing. I'll say 4.
4? Whoa,
Yeah, I think
whoa,
it's a 4
whoa.
promo.
I mean, I get 3 at most.
No, I feel pretty good about 4.
Okay, you can say 4 because, again, he didn't need to talk because he drank.
Okay.
He drank a lot,
Yeah,
so I guess you can go.
His beer did the talking.
Yeah.
Look.
And then on top of that, when you do this with the beer can,
Speaks volumes.
You can add that to your promo ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
I mean, how many points can we give to Slavin?
4? 3?
It's got to be 3, right?
All right, yeah.
He literally just looks like a dude who came out of the stands.
I know, but it worked for him.
It worked really well. I'm just saying.
He had the Zubaz type pants.
You got to take look in a vacuum. When you're doing this, you got to take each thing as a vacuum, and then it adds up.
Legacy. As a hardcore icon, his legacy's pretty up there.
So high.
6.
Yeah, 6 legacy.
Kayfabe. I mean, he won the ECW title a few times.
I think he was booked pretty strong.
Yeah.
He had the kendo stick, too.
Yeah. We'll do 5 or 6 for kayfabe.
Give him 6 for kayfabe.
All right.
3. He might be like a 5.
Yeah, he's exactly a 5.
Exactly a 5 wrestler.
Yeah.
That's where I'd put him.
Sandman is a better wrestler than Lex Luger.
But the same wrestler is Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
That's good company to be
Warrior
in.
is slightly higher.
Yeah, well, it's good company to be in
Yeah.
the vicinity of a Warrior wrestler.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't be? I would be thrilled with that career.
That's a good career.
See?
It's a good career.
We're not putting people down here.
No. Far from it.
When you're one of the best at something, it's a good thing.
Yes.
Moving on. Number 4.
4.
Sid.
Oh, yeah.
How much time do we have? How much time can we talk about Sid?
All the time.
Okay, good. Man.
So kind of the inspiration for this episode came from Something to Wrestle With.
Yeah.
Their podcast on Sid.
Oh, it's a great
2.5 hours
Yeah.
of just great Sid stories.
Yeah.
Sid analysis.
Yeah.
Man, what a fascinating, interesting individual Sid is.
I did learn another thing, that his shoot name is pronounced Sid Udi, not Sid Udi. I figured it'd be Udi.
Yeah, I
not
thought so too.
Udi.
I thought so too.
The E is silent.
Yeah.
You
Udi.
or the
Yeah.
I figured it'd be like European. European.
Yeah. Apparently not.
Udi, according to Bruce Pritchard. Anyway,
Well, he's met the man, so I assume he's new. He said he liked Sid.
Yeah.
Personally, at least at a certain point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So let's run down Sid a little bit, or let's run down his career a little bit.
Which career, softball or wrestling?
Well, see, softball, we don't really know. His stats.
I imagine a guy his size. He's all-star status right there, man.
So
put him at first base.
In field, he's probably a 10. In ring, he's probably like a 2.
Yeah.
But Sid's interesting because he had a phenomenal. Was Sid over? Have you seen any time? Well,
yeah.
Okay, the Rumble.
Yeah,
we watched the Rumble '92. He was over then.
And Pritchard mentions at Rumble 97, his match against HBK. It was in Survivor Series '96. It was at Madison Square Garden, and Sid got a face reaction because he was going down the aisle, fist bumping everybody.
Do you think Sid? So here's the thing about some of the names on this list here. People we've already. Okay, so Hogan definitely was many people's favorite wrestler of all time. Hogan might take the cake for that one.
Maybe. Warrior
Vince,
might be.
Nobody would ever say Vince is their favorite wrestler of all time. Warrior, definitely somebody's favorite wrestler of all time.
Luger, probably not.
Probably not. Sandman, if you're a big ECW fan, I can see you saying, was Sid anybody's favorite wrestler? This is a fascinating question. It's like looking at Maroon 5 that played halftime at the Super Bowl. Do you think they're anybody's favorite band. Does anybody say, "Oh, Maroon 5 is my favorite band"?
There's
ever?
a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
Odds are, I would say at least one person would have that opinion.
Does anybody who isn't personally affiliated with the band, friend or family member?
Maybe. Do you think Adam Levine's favorite band is Maroon 5?
No.
No.
Going in Raw isn't my favorite podcast.
No, far from it.
So, I mean, on the other hand, Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan's favorite wrestler.
Yes, absolutely, without a doubt. And same with Warrior.
Same with Warrior.
Here's the thing about Sid. He wanted to play football.
You know, that's hold on, I'm sorry. That's a great idea for another list. 10 wrestlers who all tried to replace Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
That's a good one.
Warrior, Sid.
Okay, we'll do that later.
Luger. Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Bret Hart.
So Sid apparently wanted to be a football player. Got spotted, depending on who you believe, by Macho Man or Jerry Lawler. Said, you need to become a wrestler. And then he just started wrestling.
Yeah.
No training.
Yeah.
And the whole...
When he was in the Skyscrapers with Dan Spivey, Spivey would do the majority of the work because he knew how to wrestle.
Yeah. Sid, not so much. He'd go and do a powerbomb or something, and that would be it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And that was kind of how he was in his career for the vast majority of it.
Yeah.
He was the type of guy, and Pritchard mentioned this, that needed to be protected. And then he makes a point of really saying Sid was not viewed by Vince. I don't want to say he wasn't viewed by Vince as a wrestler, but he was definitely viewed by Vince as an attraction.
Yes.
So he'd show up, he'd squash somebody, get heat, and get enough heat so people want to see this giant, this monster get squashed himself. Mm-hmm. And that seemingly was Sid's purpose while he was in WWF.
Yeah.
And then, his last run in WCW, they tried to give him a bit more character.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Sid. He had a weird charisma about him.
He did.
And he was decent on the mic.
His look was insane.
Yeah.
He had a great look.
He was decent on the mic, even though he would fumble his lines sometimes.
I've never seen...
But it'd always be kind of charming.
So here's the thing. They talk about it factor. I've never seen somebody lack the it factor and yet have everything else going for them in the department that should be the it factor. His look was great. His promo ability was great. But the natural charisma thing, he lacked that entirely.
Kind of.
Everything around him had charisma except for the important thing of him. Like Hulk Hogan, when he talked to you through the TV, oh man, you felt it. Like the charisma, the it factor was there.
Yeah, yeah.
When Sid talked to you, it was like a blank expression, but he was so intense.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, it's because I don't think he cared.
That could be the passion. Could be the thing.
It could just be a general apathy.
Like he'd rather be. Maybe he had it on the softball field.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe if he was delivering a promo about smashing the ball.
Mean promo on the softball field.
That could be. I don't know. There's something about him that's so present and so vacant at the same time.
I know. It's fascinating.
It really is.
In terms of wrestlers that I find endlessly fascinating, Sid is very high on that list.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't really explain why.
Like it's not with like Luger who had vacant eyes. Like Luger, he looks at you and you don't even realize it. And plus he had like a weird forehead. I don't know what that is. It's so weird.
It's not the most flattering picture of him up there anyway.
No, it isn't. But Sid had just something and nothing.
Yeah.
It's the oddest thing.
Let's do some Sid math, Steve.
All right.
Wrestling, 1.
In-ring ability, 1.
Promo.
I mean, who gets up to the second row and the second rope when they know they shouldn't? And then his legs.
He insists that I think he said Johnny Ace put him up to that.
Hey, get up to the second rope. No, man, I don't even do the first rope.
I don't do any ropes. I walk through them. That's it. Or over them. I don't get on them.
Okay, we'll try it this time. Ugh, I'm going to break my leg up there. Do it anyway. Crack.
I know. Promo, 7.
Okay, sure.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, I guess.
Look.
Oh, 10.
Wow.
Dude, look at him.
No, he looked amazing. Legacy.
Like he comes walking through that door, I'm running.
Yeah, Legacy 2.
Unless he says, you guys want to play some softball? Sure, Sid.
Yeah.
Legacy's probably 2. Is he a Hall of Famer? He came back at Raw 1000.
Yeah. He also did almost kill Arn Anderson, so he's got to get knocked for that.
Yeah. Like attempted murder, that's going to knock something off your legacy for sure.
And the fact that far too often he would say goodbye to wrestling, you in the middle of a contract, go play softball. Kayfabe, he's booked relatively strong.
Booked really strong. Got to give him like a 7.
6.
Dude, he was beating the Undertaker on the house show circuit.
Yeah, but
he kicked out of a Hogan leg drop.
But that was because that wasn't kayfabe. That was a mistiming on Papa Shango's part.
Well, shoot wise, yeah, but that's behind the scenes stuff. Kayfabe, he kicked out of Hogan's leg drop.
6.
Oh, you're crazy. He's a 2-time WWE champion, ruler of the world. Kayfabe is ruler of the world.
4+.
What?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah.
He's sort of a sub-Ultimate Warrior guy.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
Slightly above Lex.
I may not like the results of the math, but I have to respect the results of the math.
So far, it's hard to argue with any of the results of any of our math.
All right. That's good. Moving on.
Moving on. 3.
Andre the Giant.
So we were watching some of Andre's early work before he started. When he was it 1968, that match we watched? Yeah. He was nimble.
Yeah.
He was athletic.
Yeah.
He was taking some bumps.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like the wear and tear on his body.
Yeah. We watched another match from 6 years later, 1974.
And he was really not any nimble.
No
longer nimble. Sorry. Yeah. Really wasn't taking any bumps.
Lumbered about the ring.
So it seemed like for a brief period of time, with
his body could handle it.
Yeah. And then once it couldn't.
When you look at Andre, by the time rock and wrestling came around, by the time the golden era of WWF,
he was well past his physical prime at that point.
So far past. I mean, his iconic matchup with Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 3, even when you hear Hogan talk about it, Vince talk about it, they weren't entirely sure. Like, his back was already trash.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't sure what else he could, if he was able to take a slam.
Mm-hmm.
But he was able to gut his way through it. But just lumbering about. But his presence was I know, so immense.
Yeah,
I mean, he was like,
talk about someone that had the it factor.
Oh, a million.
Yeah,
a million.
Yeah.
That dude looks at you and is, wow, this is what I imagine it's like when you get to heaven and God looks at you.
Yeah.
That's what you think when Andre looks at you. Yeah. He had the eyes, the face, the presence, just the presence, and all that's been documented in the great Andre documentary.
Oh, it was fantastic. Bill Simmons produced one. Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And everybody's always said that stuff about Andre. You really were in the presence of like a near deity when you were around him.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I mean, just by virtue of the fact that, what was going on in his body when it came to, the late 70s and then into the 80s, it hurts to watch the guy get around.
Yeah.
Was he the reason they drove people to the ring?
At WrestleMania 3.
At WrestleMania 3, I think he was the reason they had the carts.
Yeah.
Because who wants to walk down that aisle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is a testament to Hogan's strength that he was able to even do that, because Andre could really help him that much.
Yeah, probably not a ton.
To get up there. But
that match we watched from '68 was interesting. It was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it was. It was. Like the bumps he was taking. He was selling Hurricane Ranas. Yeah, that was great. I had never seen that before.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
You want to do some Andre?
What's going on here these days?
I don't know. Want to do some Andre math?
Yeah, let's do some Andre math.
All right. In ring 2.
By the time he hit his peak, definitely a 2. Yeah.
Or wrestling hit his peak, I would say. Promo.
So he had a pretty thick accent. I mean, he was imposing. I'd give him like a 4.
I'd say 5 because you got to wrap up his charisma in there a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Look, that's a 10.
Oh, that's a 10.
Legacy, at least an 8, if not a 10.
Yeah.
What is it? 10?
Legacy's 10.
Yeah, Legacy is a 10.
I mean, he could be his own Mount Rushmore.
Kayfabe. He didn't really win a lot of titles. He didn't win any titles in WWE.
Yeah, but that was sort of
But he was also book strong. He didn't in WWF. He didn't lose till Hogan beat him.
He was literally undefeated.
Yeah, so that's
a 9.
9.
Man, he might challenge Cena.
Maybe. And then 8. 8+.
8+ wrestler. Wow, he's up there.
Yep.
That's not surprising.
Nope.
That makes all the sense in the world. It's the math. You can't beat the math. What did Hogan get? 7+?
7+.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Next.
Number 2. Goldberg. So Goldberg was a phenomenon.
Oh, yeah.
A hell of an event wrestler in WCW. Fascinating that WCW was able to actually basically create and develop to wild success a talent one time.
Yeah.
And never again. Never again. I mean, you could look at guys like DDP, but he was kind of doing stuff before a little bit.
Yeah, he had experience in the industry before that, even if
I
it
feel
wasn't
like
as a wrestler.
Everybody who...
I mean, if you want to go back, Goldberg was like the one guy during the Monday Night Wars. DDP kind of started a little bit before that, who they seemingly developed entirely in-house.
Yeah, I'll put it... Yeah, you're right. I'll put it this way. Guys like Jericho, everybody else in WCW who really made a lot of progress to get to the point where they can go to WWF and launch even bigger careers. I feel like they did it in spite of WCW.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, then all of them had a great wealth of experience before arriving at WCW. Yeah.
But Goldberg was like probably the one guy that came out of their performance center, out of the power plant.
Yeah.
That actually did what the power plant was born to do. You know, was designed to do.
Yeah.
Like it was Goldberg.
Yeah.
And it worked wildly. I remember being like, we were big fans of Goldberg.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was a bigger fan than Big Jeff.
Yeah.
He loved him.
Yeah.
But that being said, because there was such a small period of actual development, he was a trash wrestler.
Yeah, he wasn't very good. Remember that match he had against William Regal?
Yeah, that was great. Regal just schooled him.
Yeah.
Just schooled him.
Yeah.
Made him look like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a guy with it factor.
Yeah.
Oh, off the charts
Yeah.
it factor. Off the charts look.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to also appreciate the mystique of Goldberg.
Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't really talk.
Yeah, but when you did it, usually in WCW at least, it wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't, but they didn't have him talk much, so it was at least impactful.
Yeah.
Like when he talked, it was like, whoa, Goldberg just said something. I mean, it wasn't that impressive. Oh, he sounds like a normal dude. But it didn't really kill his mystique at all.
No.
Because they were like, hey, Goldberg, you just beat 86 people in a row. What's going on?
Who's next?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that was a great phrase. Wow, who's next? Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's on a streak. Anyways.
But now he's a great talker.
Oh, yeah. Because you know why? They just sent him out there with a microphone and be like, hey, Goldberg, really tell the people how you feel.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's great.
Fantastic.
And he seems like a terrific human being.
Yeah, he seems like a really good dude.
Yeah. Like, man. But, his last few, I really kind of hope that they just call it a day with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see him back as a wrestler because obviously with the Brock thing, they were just covering up his age, his vast amount of weaknesses in the ring.
Yeah.
They kept it really simple.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing.
Oh, yeah. They booked to his strengths.
But no, I loved Goldberg. I thought he was great. Let's do some Goldberg math.
All right, in ring 2.
Oh, man, I don't know. He freaking retired Bret Hart. Why even a 2? Like I kind of 1 maybe.
A 1 then. So here's the thing about promos. Like if you just went by his prime run in WCW, promos would not be high.
Yeah.
But you got to take into account his immense charisma, his ability to communicate without talking.
The it fact, yeah, that's important. And on top of that, I mean, God, let me ask you, his run in WWF or WWE with the Universal title, you probably can consider that his best run ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he beat Hogan at Hogan's top politicking days.
Yeah.
But man,
some of his best work was done during his last WWE run.
He won the Universal title and against Brock Lesnar. That was crazy. So, I mean, I'd give him like a 5 for promo.
All right.
He had me in the feels during his farewell.
Yeah, that was good. Look, 9.
Oh, man, yeah, 9 for sure.
Look.
Absolutely. Killer look.
Legacy.
Strong legacy.
7?
I'd say 6. He's not on a Mount Rushmore.
No. Kayfabe. I mean, he had that win streak, so that's got to be pretty high. 8. 8 kayfabe.
Oh, and he beat Lesnar for the 8 kayfabe.
6+.
Okay, that sounds right. I mean, he was a flash in the pan, went away for 20 years, came back, and was a flash in the pan again. Mm-hmm. That's about a 6 wrestler. Mm-hmm. Got to respect the math. Here we go.
Hard to argue with it.
Hard to argue with the math. Number 1. Kevin Nash.
Man, I used to be a huge Kevin Nash fan back in the
unequivocally. I am
late 90s.
Still
he's
massive
great.
Kevin Nash fan.
He's great. If you want to go down a thoroughly enjoyable shoot interview rabbit hole,
start there, man.
Kevin Nash, one of the best episodes of Stone Cold's podcast.
Oh,
him and Kevin Nash just talking over Uber facts,
just shooting the shit. He is in so many categories, just great.
Yeah,
just absolutely great.
As a wrestler,
I mean,
not one of them.
No, man. I mean, if you look at any of his matches, I mean, the dude is like 7 feet whatever.
Yeah, got bad knees.
He's got bad knees, and there's a lot of lumbering happening there. Very limited move set.
Yes, remember Cornette? We watched this thing with Cornette talking about how he had to teach
Glenn Jacobs
how to be Diesel when Nash went WCW. Mm-hmm. And so he watched a bunch of Diesel tape and said, all right, well, you got 6 moves, including the hair flip.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That you got to learn, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like Glenn Jacobs was a vastly better wrestler than Kevin Nash was.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see him having to adapt how he would wrestle so he can...
Wrestle poorly.
Yeah, wrestle poorly, exactly.
He said, I defy you to find a 7th move.
I know. If you come up with a 7th move, I'm afraid you're going to be relieved of your duties as fake Diesel.
Talk about a guy who had it factor.
Yep.
The fans seemed to love him just by virtue of the fact that they all wanted to hang out with the guy.
Yeah, the strength of his personality was such that people enjoyed his work, even though he really couldn't wrestle that well.
Even though his gimmick was Truck.
Yeah.
You know, what's your character?
I'm Truck.
I'm Truck. I'm Truck. But I'm like really cool. I'm like super cool. What did him and HBK, their tag team, their short-lived tag team?
Oh, 2 dudes with attitude?
Oh, man, who wouldn't love that?
Man, I know.
Who wouldn't love that? He just seemed like super cool, and he still seems just like super. Like, you follow him on Twitter, man, he just seems like the coolest dude there is. Not a good wrestler, though.
No.
You know, nobody's going to...
Again, the case of someone being a good entertainer, maybe not a good wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. It's totally okay. It's not a knock. The fact that he was able to succeed as wildly as he did with a limited skill set inside the ring as a technical wrestler speaks volumes about what he brings to the table in every other area.
Yep.
So, for Kevin Nash, let's do the math.
In ring, I'll give him a 2.
Give him a 2. You know, dude, if you watch some of his matches in like 95 when he had the title, he actually, I mean, he could run in the ring, like he could move.
Yeah.
So I'd give him a 3.
A 3.
Give him a 3. He's a 3. Who's got the highest in-ring score on here?
I think that was Kevin Nash with a 3.
All right. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that.
All right.
That
promo.
powerbomb is not easy to do. It's a good-looking powerbomb.
Yeah.
I love the jackknife.
Although
powerbomb.
when Glenn Jacobs did the jackknife powerbomb, he did it better than Kevin Nash did.
Jacobs was a really good wrestler.
Promo. 7.
8.
8. All right.
He was like the most natural dude on the mic.
Look.
Oh, man.
7.
7, yeah.
You look cool.
He looks super cool.
That's 6 for being good. On the dot. Legacy. 5? Because he's generally regarded as being the top guy in WWF at a very down time.
Yeah. I need to get my own personal feelings. Like, I would put his legacy at like 7, but 5 sounds more realistic.
Kayfabe. I mean, he had the WWF title for a whole year.
I give him like a friggin'
7.
At least an 8 for kayfabe. I mean, maybe down to 7 because of his later years.
Well, he did beat Goldberg, too.
He beat Goldberg. Give him an 8.
It's 13. Oh, 6+.
Yeah, it sounds right.
He's in the same ballpark as
Bret Hart. That's a Bret Hart wrestler
territory.
right there. Yeah. Because everything that he's in
the same ballpark as Goldberg too.
If you put Kevin Nash and Bret Hart together and make one wrestler, you have maybe the perfect wrestler.
Yeah, maybe.
You know.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they probably still wouldn't rate as high as Cena because Cena is like the actual perfect wrestler. Cena could be his own Mount Rushmore. I'm telling you, man. Can't look. You can say what you want. You can't. The math doesn't lie. The math doesn't lie.
I just don't know how you can say he's more than like a 6 look.
Who, Cena?
Yeah.
Because he's at least an 8 look, probably a 9 look.
No way.
He walks through that door wearing his jorts and his merch, and you're like, dude, he looks like an action figure and an action movie star. Which is like the perfect wrestler.
See him coming wearing his merch. I'm like, oh, he's trying to sell some T-shirts.
And he sells so many of them.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, absolutely. That's part of the wrestling game. Anyways, let us know what you guys think about our perfect wrestling math. If you don't think it's perfect, then we kind of don't want to hear from you. But that'd be, whatever. So, yeah.
All right.
Till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Oh, here's an ad for our Patreon. If I can find it. There it is. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.